In the year 2234, Earth was thriving under the aegis of a unified government known as the Earth Coalition. Technological advancements had transcended the wildest dreams of previous generations, and humanity was on the brink of becoming a Type 1 civilization on the Kardashev scale. Harnessing the power of the entire planet, the Earth Coalition had begun ambitious projects to extend human influence beyond the Milky Way. Dr. Lena Hartfield, a leading astrophysicist, had spearheaded the development of the first interstellar communications array, affectionately termed the Beacon. This monumental device was not just a tool for exploring the cosmos, it was a herald of Earth's entry into the galactic community. The Beacon was designed to send structured messages using quantum entanglement, ensuring instant communication across unimaginable distances. The day of its first activation was met with celebrations worldwide. The control room was buzzing with anticipation as Lena prepared to send humanity's greeting to the cosmos. The message was a simple declaration of peace and an invitation to any civilizations that might be listening. "Today we reach out as humble explorers," Lena spoke into the microphone, her voice transmitting to the array. "We seek knowledge, understanding, and peaceful coexistence." As the message was broadcast, the team monitored the array anxiously, hoping for a historic response. Hours turned into days, and still, there was silence. Doubt began to creep in among the team members, but Lena remained undeterred. She believed that any civilization capable of receiving the message would need time to deliberate their response. 2 months passed without a word from the stars. Then, on a quiet night that seemed no different from any other, the Beacon received its first reply. The response was not in any form of decipherable language, but in a series of mathematical sequences and prime numbers, a universal language that spoke of an advanced, intelligent source. Excitement surged through Earth's scientific community. The sequences were quickly decoded, revealing a message that was both an acknowledgement and an invitation. The alien civilization, identifying themselves only as the custodians, expressed a desire to meet and share knowledge. They provided coordinates to a rendezvous point in a nearby star system. Preparations were made for an unprecedented mission to meet the custodians. The world watched as a delegation, including Lena, embarked on the journey aboard the ECS Horizon, a state-of-the-art spacecraft. The journey to the rendezvous point was expected to take several weeks, given the vast distances involved and the experimental nature of the spacecraft's propulsion system. As they neared the coordinates, the crew of the ECS Horizon prepared for what could be humanity's most significant moment. However, unbeknownst to them, their transmission had been intercepted by another alien species, one that viewed the burgeoning human technology and expansionist posture as a grave threat. This species, known as the Derviaks, had been monitoring human progress from afar. The Derviaks were an ancient civilization, wary of any potential competitors. They perceived the Beacon's message and the subsequent rendezvous as the first steps in an aggressive expansion into their territories. The Derviaks decided to act swiftly. As the ECS Horizon approached the meeting point, a Derviak warship uncloaked directly in their path. The human delegation was taken aback by the sudden appearance of the massive, menacing ship. "Unknown vessel, this is the ECS Horizon. We come in peace," Lena broadcast, hoping to avoid a misunderstanding. The reply came through as a harsh, modulated voice filled with disdain. "Your peace is an invasion. Your technology is a threat. Withdraw immediately or face consequences." The crew was stunned. The situation escalated rapidly as they tried to communicate their peaceful intentions. Meanwhile, back on Earth, leaders scrambled to respond to this unforeseen nightmare. The dream of joining the galactic community had quickly turned into a perilous ordeal as humanity stood on the brink of its first interstellar conflict. As tensions mounted, Lena knew that the decisions made in the next few moments could determine the fate of not just the delegation but potentially all of humanity. Aboard the ECS Horizon, Dr. Lena Hartfield faced the Derviak warship with a mix of awe and trepidation. The warship, a colossal structure of dark metal and pulsating energy shields, loomed like a prehistoric beast awakened from a deep slumber. Lena, with her team behind her, opened a channel for communication. her voice steady despite the gravity of their situation. "We have no intention of invading or posing a threat to anyone," Lena asserted. "Our mission is to establish contact and foster mutual understanding with civilizations beyond our own." The Derviak commander, appearing on the holographic display, was a figure of imposing stature, his skin an iridescent hue that shifted with his mood. "Your technology breaches boundaries it should not," he countered. "You awaken forces you comprehend not. Our intervention is to prevent a catastrophe you cannot foresee." Lena tried a different tack, emphasizing common ground. "Perhaps there is more we can learn from each other than we realize. Could we not share knowledge and ensure safety together?" The Derviak commander seemed to consider this momentarily before replying. "A dialogue may be permissible, but under strict supervision. You will follow us to a neutral location where we will discuss terms." Reluctantly, Lena agreed, knowing this temporary truce was the best outcome they could hope for under the circumstances. The Derviak warship led the way, navigating through star systems that were foreign and uncharted by human instruments. Lena and her team prepared for what might come, knowing the importance of this diplomatic endeavor. Upon arrival at the neutral station, a space platform that seemed to be carved out of an asteroid, the human delegation was escorted under heavy guard to a conference room. The room was stark, furnished with a large table and several chairs, each designed to accommodate the various anatomies of the species present. The Derviaks laid out their concerns methodically. "Your exploration transmits signals through channels that disrupt the cosmic balance. These pathways are sacred to us, and your interference invites chaos." Lena listened intently, realizing the depth of the cultural and technological divide between their species. "We were unaware of the significance of these pathways. Perhaps we could work together to establish guidelines that respect your traditions and allow us to continue our exploration." The negotiations were tense, with each side slowly inching towards understanding. The Derviaks were protective of their territory and cosmic order, while humans sought their place in the cosmos, eager to explore and expand their knowledge. As the discussions continued, Lena proposed a joint research initiative, one that would allow human scientists and Derviak scholars to study the effects of human technology on these cosmic pathways. After several hours of debate, the Derviaks agreed to a trial period of cooperation. With a cautious agreement in place, Lena and her team returned to the ECS horizon, their minds racing with the possibilities of what this partnership might yield. They had managed to avoid immediate conflict, but the true challenge lay in the balance of this fragile new relationship. As the horizon set a course back towards Earth, Lena reflected on the complexities of their mission. This encounter had shown her that the universe was not just a vast expanse to be traversed, but a delicate tapestry of interconnected lives and beliefs, each deserving respect and consideration. Back on Earth, the news of Lena's encounter with the Derviaks stirred a whirlwind of reactions. Political leaders debated the implications of this sudden, stark introduction to interstellar politics, while the public was divided between fear and fascination. Lena, tasked with briefing the Earth Coalition, faced a room of apprehensive faces, her account punctuated by urgent questions and concerned murmurs. "The Derviaks have technology that far surpasses our own in certain aspects, particularly in cosmic navigation and energy manipulation," Lena explained. "Our initial outreach, although well-intentioned, was perceived as a breach of their sacred cosmic laws." Admiral Gregory Pike, a seasoned veteran of the Earth Coalition's space operations, leaned forward, his expression grim. "If the Derviaks felt threatened enough to intervene directly, we need to reassess our approach to space exploration and communication. We can't afford a war." Lena nodded in agreement. "They've agreed to a period of joint research. It's a chance to demonstrate our commitment to cosmic harmony, and perhaps learn from their advanced understanding of the universe." The Earth Coalition formed a special committee to oversee this delicate partnership, assigning top diplomats and scientists to the task. Lena was appointed as the lead liaison, a role that required her to shuttle between Earth and the Derviak station, facilitating discussions and overseeing joint experiments. Meanwhile, the Derviaks hosted the first cohort of human scientists at their research facility. The facility, located on a massive space platform orbiting a neutron star, was a marvel of alien architecture, combining organic design with quantum technologies. Human scientists, though initially overwhelmed, found the Derviaks to be meticulous and disciplined researchers, albeit strict and somewhat inscrutable. As the teams delved into the studies, they discovered that the human use of quantum entanglement for communication had unintended consequences in the fabric of space-time, affecting navigational currents that the Derviaks relied upon. These currents, invisible and imperceptible to human instruments, were akin to ocean currents in space, guiding the movements of celestial bodies and interstellar travel. Dr. Emil Johansen, a physicist part of the human delegation, worked closely with a Derviak scientist named Cyril. Together, they explored modifications to the beacon's technology, aiming to minimize its disruptions. The collaborative efforts started to bear fruit as they developed a prototype device that could shield the entanglement signals, rendering them harmless to the cosmic currents. However, not all were pleased with the burgeoning alliance. A faction within the Derviak community viewed the cooperation with suspicion, seeing it as a compromise to their sovereignty and a potential security risk. Similarly, on Earth, a group of politicians and citizens formed the Terran Sovereignty Movement, advocating for an end to the partnership, fearing over-reliance on alien technology and influence. Tensions escalated when a sabotage attempt was made on the prototype device, causing a minor but controlled explosion at the research facility. Security footage was inconclusive, but it showed figures in both human and Derviak forms near the device before the incident. Lena and Cyril faced increasing pressure to not only salvage the partnership, but also to root out the potential conspirators within their ranks. The stakes were high, as any failure could not only dissolve the fragile trust but also propel their species towards conflict. In the shadow of these events, Lena prepared for a crucial meeting with Derviak leaders and the Earth Coalition, determined to navigate the treacherous waters of interstellar diplomacy and uncover the truth behind the sabotage. Her resolve hardened. The dream of a peaceful and cooperative future hung in the balance. In the fluorescent glow of the conference room aboard the Derviak station, Lena presented the evidence gathered from the sabotage incident. The tension was palpable as representatives from both species watched the security footage. Murmurs filled the room when the shadowy figures appeared on the screen, blurring the line between ally and adversary. "Clearly, we face a threat that does not discriminate between human and Derviak," Lena stated, her voice firm, seeking to bridge the divide. "This act was meant to destabilize our efforts and sow discord. We must unite to address this internal threat, or all our progress could be undone." A high-ranking Derviak official, Varesh, nodded slowly, his eyes reflecting a strategic mind at work. "Agreed, Dr. Hartfield. However, trust must be earned, and this incident has strained ours. We require further assurances that your people are committed to peace and respect for our ways." Lena proposed an increased exchange of security protocols and a joint task force to investigate the sabotage. She suggested that their cooperation in resolving this issue could serve as a testament to their shared commitment to peace. As the joint task force commenced its investigation, Lena and her team delved deeper into the cultural and technological underpinnings of the Derviak civilization. Their findings revealed a society that valued stability and order above all, seeing themselves as custodians of the cosmic balance. Any disruption, whether intentional or accidental, was viewed as an existential threat. Amidst their efforts, Emil Johansen and Cyril continued to refine the prototype device, incorporating Derviak technology that utilized quantum stabilization fields. This new integration not only promised to prevent further disturbances in cosmic currents, but also demonstrated a tangible product of human-Derviak collaboration. However, progress on the diplomatic and scientific fronts was shadowed by growing unrest back on Earth. The Terran Sovereignty movement had gained momentum, organizing protests and demanding an immediate cessation of all alien collaborations. Their rhetoric was potent, tapping into fears of alien domination and loss of human identity. Simultaneously, within the Derviak community, the faction opposed to the alliance began to exert pressure on their leaders. They staged demonstrations on several Derviak worlds, calling for a return to isolation and the preservation of their cultural purity. Amid these external pressures, the task force made a breakthrough. They traced the sabotage to a small group of extremists, both human and Derviak, who believed that their civilizations should remain supreme and uncontaminated by other influences. This coalition of radicals had formed in secret, using encrypted communications to coordinate their actions. Armed with this information, Lena and Varesh faced a new challenge, presenting their findings in a way that would not inflame tensions further, but would rather exemplify the necessity and benefit of their burgeoning alliance. As they prepared for this delicate task, a critical incident unfolded. The ECS Horizon, en route with a delegation of Earth diplomats, was intercepted by a rogue Derviak faction. The ship was forced into a precarious orbit around a volatile star, putting all on board at risk. With the eyes of both worlds upon them, Lena and Varesh had to quickly negotiate not only the release of the hostages, but also demonstrate the strength and resilience of their alliance. The resolution of this crisis would either cement their partnership or doom it to failure, as they worked against time to avert a disaster. The situation aboard the ECS Horizon was dire. The ship, now caught in the gravitational pull of a volatile star, threatened the lives of everyone on board. Lena and Varesh, coordinating from the Derviak station, worked feverishly to establish a line of communication with the rogue faction responsible for the interception. "Your actions jeopardize not only the lives aboard that ship, but the future of our interspecies relations." Lena addressed the faction leader via a secure channel, her voice calm yet assertive. Varesh stood beside her, his expression unreadable but his presence a silent show of unity. The faction leader, a Derviak named Mirek, appeared on the screen, his features hardened by resolve. "This ship will serve as a warning. We will no longer tolerate the contamination of our pure lineage with human weaknesses." Varesh responded in a measured tone. "Mirek, brother, consider the consequences. This act of aggression could lead to open conflict, the very chaos you claim to resist. Let us resolve this peacefully." Back on Earth, as news of the hostage situation spread, the Terran sovereignty movement seized the narrative, using it to fuel their propaganda. Protests escalated into riots in several major cities, calling for immediate withdrawal from the alien partnership. Simultaneously, Lena and Varesh faced the challenge of maintaining control over the situation. They proposed a joint rescue mission, combining human ingenuity with Derviak technology, to create a rescue craft capable of withstanding the star's intense radiation and gravitational forces. While the rescue mission was underway, Emil and Cyril made a breakthrough with the prototype device. They had successfully integrated a fail-safe mechanism that would allow for the immediate shutdown of the device in case of any future anomalies. This development offered a glimmer of hope that they could present to both their peoples as evidence of the benefits of their collaboration. The rescue craft, piloted by a mixed crew of human and Derviak volunteers, launched from the station. Navigating through the perilous space around the star, they employed a series of precise maneuvers, a testament to the combined strategic prowess of both species. As they approached the ECS Horizon, the situation on board grew increasingly tense. The rogue Derviaks, realizing that a rescue operation was imminent, threatened to scuttle the ship. Lena, through an open communication channel, pleaded with the crew and the hostages to remain calm, assuring them help was near. The rescue team executed a daring transfer, docking with the Horizon just as the rogue faction initiated a countdown to detach the ship's main engine, which would have sent it spiraling into the star. In a tense standoff, the rescuers managed to secure the engine room, disabling the countdown and ensuring the ship's safety. With the hostages safe and the rogue Derviak subdued, the rescue craft made its way back to the station. The successful mission was broadcast across both Earth and Derviak territories, showcasing the effectiveness of their joint efforts and tempering some of the dissent. Upon their return, Lena and Varesh presented their findings regarding the sabotage of the prototype device alongside the success of the rescue mission. This dual presentation helped to highlight both the dangers and the potential of their interstellar partnership. Addressing a joint session of the Earth Coalition and Derviak leaders, Lena emphasized, "This crisis has tested us in ways we could not have anticipated, yet it has also shown us the strength we can draw from unity. Let us move forward, not back, forging a path of mutual respect and shared destiny." The session concluded with cautious optimism. The leaders agreed to continue their collaboration, bolstered by the tangible results of their cooperative efforts and the resolution of the crisis. Yet the path ahead remained fraught with challenges, as they needed to rebuild trust and manage the internal dissent that threatened to unravel their delicate alliance. In the aftermath of the crisis, the political landscape of both Earth and the Derviak territories was transformed. The successful rescue operation and the continued effectiveness of the joint scientific endeavors gradually shifted public opinion towards favoring the alliance. However, the path to full reconciliation was fraught with lingering suspicions and unresolved fears. Lena, now recognized as a key figure in interstellar diplomacy, worked tirelessly with Varesh to ensure that the momentum towards peace and cooperation was not lost. They organized a series of cultural exchange programs, aiming to foster a deeper understanding and appreciation of each species' heritage and values. These programs included academic exchanges, art exhibitions, and joint exploration missions, providing platforms for everyday citizens and elites alike to engage directly with their counterparts. As these initiatives began to take root, a new discovery propelled the Alliance into a new phase of cooperation. The prototype device, now fully integrated and operational, had not only stabilized the cosmic pathways but also unlocked new potentials in quantum communication and energy transfer. This breakthrough offered both species unprecedented access to resources and knowledge, solidifying the practical benefits of their partnership. However, the shadow of the extremist factions loomed large. Lena and Varesh were aware that these groups were still active, their ideologies not easily dissuaded by diplomatic successes or scientific breakthroughs. To counter this threat, they formed a bilateral security task force, charged with rooting out extremist elements and safeguarding the Alliance's future. During a high-level security briefing, an intelligence report unveiled a shocking revelation. The extremists had been receiving clandestine support from a third, unknown alien species. This species had its own agenda, seeing the human Derviak alliance as a threat to their clandestine operations in this sector of the galaxy. Armed with this new information, Lena and Varesh faced a critical decision. They could expose this third party and risk drawing them into open conflict, or they could use this knowledge as leverage to negotiate an even broader, more secure pact that included this new species. After much deliberation, they chose the latter, believing that inclusivity could yield a more stable and lasting peace. Negotiations were delicate, with multiple clandestine meetings and communications. Eventually, representatives of the third species, known as the Zaltrons, agreed to a preliminary meeting. Unlike the Derviaks, the Zaltrons were less rigid and hierarchical, more akin to a loose confederation of entities with a common interest in maintaining their autonomy. The first meeting with the Zaltrons was held in neutral space, aboard a station designed to accommodate all three species. Lena, leading the human delegation, introduced the session with a speech that emphasized shared interests and common threats, highlighting the benefits of a tripartite agreement. The discussions were intense and protracted, with many sessions stretching into the early hours. Gradually, a framework for cooperation was established, addressing the concerns and interests of all parties involved. This new alliance would expand the scope of their joint scientific projects and include a mutual defense pact against external threats. As the agreement was ratified, Lena felt a profound sense of accomplishment and relief. The alliance, now spanning three powerful civilizations, had the potential to alter the galactic power structure and promote a new era of peace and prosperity. Reflecting on her journey, Lena realized how far they had come, from the first uncertain message sent into the stars, through trials of conflict and misunderstanding, to a grand alliance that spanned multiple worlds and species. It was a testament to the power of diplomacy and the unyielding spirit of those who dared to reach across the void in search of understanding and unity. As she prepared to return to Earth, Lena looked out at the stars, pondering the future. With peace secured, the cosmos beckoned with endless possibilities, and humanity, along with its allies, was ready to explore them together.